Wisconsin, where spirit and earth meet together as one, united being.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Peripheral Consciousness, and thank you for sharing your time with me. On this episode, I will be discussing energy and its effects on the physical plane. And later on, I will be allowing one of my spirit guides a spirit-given message in the form of spirit-controlled speech. Energy, just like everything else in the spirit plane, is a form of consciousness. The difference between energy and most other things in the physical plane is the obvious. You can't see energy directly. Sure, you can see the reaction of energy, but you cannot see direct energy with your naked eye. So why is this? Why can't we see energy? Our eyes can only process vibrations of our own. We can only see things that are on the same vibrational plane while incarnate. Energy is vibrating at a different vibrational rate than the physical plane. So does this mean energy is in a different dimension than the physical plane? Yes. Energy is in a different dimension than the physical plane. But so are we. We are in two different dimensions at the same time. Our bodies are in the physical plane, and our souls are in the spirit plane simultaneously. Two different vibrations at once. There are multiple dimensions, but all dimensions of existence are intertwined. Everything in existence is consciousness. So we are connected with everything that exists all the time. We just aren't completely aware of it while incarnate. Our eyes were designed to only process one vibration. So why is our energy vibrating at a different vibrational rate than the physical plane? Everything in the physical plane was designed and created for this current experience of existence. In other words, anything that you can't see was not created for this current experience of existence. It does not mean that it does not exist. It just means that our true existence is not meant to be easily perceived while incarnate in this physical plane experience. There are different types of energy, none of which can be seen by the naked eye. For instance, our soul's energy versus the energy of a wave of water or a radio signal. Energy is consciousness. So like all consciousness, it can be manipulated. We are aware of energy while incarnate. Even though we can't see it, we know for a fact that it exists. So we are aware of all this energy that surrounds us. But why? We can't see it. So how do we know it exists? Proof. We are able to prove it, mainly with electronic devices like radios and computers. We can send signals of energy through the air in the form of communication and data. Some of us don't need proof that energy exists because we can feel it and sense it. So why can't a feeling or sense be considered a form of proof? Because we can't share a feeling with others while incarnate. For some, proof must be presented physically. Energy is a connection of consciousness. Whether we want to believe in it or not, it exists. We are the proof itself. We are energy. We are the same energy as our loved ones in spirit. Proving the energy of spirits can be tricky. Most of us get our proof of spirit energy personally and individually, usually in ways that can't be described. But it's proof to us. Others may have a difficult time accepting this proof because it's not in the physical form. Understanding that our true being is something that can't be seen or touched is similar to understanding that energy itself can't be seen or touched. Some energies can be proven with tools of the physical plane. Others must be proven with tools of the spiritual plane. Energy can be used as a tool for distinguishing the difference between the physical world and our true being. Remembering that anything that can't be seen or touched, like energy, is a part of our true reality, is a great way of understanding existence in this current physical plane, and is a great example of existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. In other words, our true reality is anything that can't be seen or touched. Our true reality is anything that can't be seen or touched. Remember, energy is consciousness, and everything that we perceive in the physical plane is consciousness. So everything is energy. It's just perceived differently while incarnate. Accepting that energy is the physical plane and not something that we control through actions of the physical plane is what we need to practice in our daily lives in order to better understand our true way of being. Energy is a tool used by spirits to interact with us and the physical plane. It's what they use to manipulate the world around us. And since it can't be seen, it makes their interactions and adjustments seem magical and impossible at times. Just imagine if we could see energy. Suddenly, we would understand everything, and this world would become pointless, and we would all get the Wizard of Oz effect when the curtain was drawn. For this portion of the episode, I will be allowing one of my spirit guides to deliver a message in the form of spirit-controlled speech. Please keep in mind, due to the amount of energy manipulation during a spirit-controlled speech, there is often interference picked up during the recording. And since it is spirit-controlled, I'm not able to re-record. Okay. Energy. 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 Is energy magical? Well, I don't think so. But apparently the incarnate do. Energy. Energy and its wonders. What does it entail? Energy could be anything. A lot of people use the term energy to explain something or reference something that they don't understand. Oh, it must be energy. How'd that happen? Oh, the energy did. Or it's a pretty broad term, is what I'm getting at here. Energy, energy, energy. Everything is energy. There's no doubt about that. But everything is everything. Everything's one. Everything's connected. Because everything is consciousness. So, how is energy different than everything else? We can't see it. That makes it different. Yes. Like I may previously stated, energy, at least what we consider to be energy while incarnate, and yes, I said it again, I do that sometimes, everyone get over it. Energy is vibrating at a different rate. It's a different vibration because energy is reality. I'm just going to go out here and say it. If you can't see it, and you know it exists, that is reality. That is your true being, your true reality. Anything of your true being or reality, you can't see. Anything that you can see is not your true reality. If you can see it with your eyes, and your brain is registering it through your eyes, it's not your true reality. Everything is vibrating at the same rate on the current physical plane because it was all created to be a unit of one single experience at a time. Everything in the physical plane, this world, was created out of thought. It's a thought that is vibrating at one specific rate. Your eyeballs, each of your eyeballs is vibrating at the same rate that everything that you perceive in this world, this physical plane of your current existence. It's all one vibration. Energy is a different part of consciousness. Energy is a part of your true consciousness. It's not a part of this physical plane consciousness. It was not created in the same way. The physical world is a thought of creation. It's a thought of creation. Anything to do with this current thought of creation is at its own vibration. Yes, your thoughts have a vibration. Let that one sink in for a minute. Okay. Now that we let that sink in for a moment, let's get back to energy. Now that we clarified here that energy is a part of your consciousness. Yes, your consciousness. I'm letting that one sink in as well. You may perceive it to be out in this world, this energy. But remember, you have to accept your previous perceptions to be wrong sometimes in order for your consciousness to expand. When you incarnate, your consciousness retracts. It retracts so that it can process what it believes to be a single life in this physical plane of existence. Expand it again with the knowledge of reality. Accept that your old perceptions could possibly be wrong. Allow new perceptions, for these new perceptions will expand your consciousness. You want your consciousness to expand again. I'm waiting for it to expand. What, I can't be funny? Spirits can't be funny? We're just like you, except we have knowledge of everything. Okay, I'll get back on track. Energy. Energy is not as perceived. It's not out, floating around in this physical plane of existence like some of you perceive it to be. It's not magically taking things from point A to point B. Energy is a part of your, yes, your consciousness. That's how people incarnate can adjust the physical plane with thought. Yes, there have been numerous studies performed by, yes, doctors and people that are known for their expertise, trusted individuals. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen these. How thought can change the physical plane. Just a simple thought. And I'm not going to get into the exact ones here because there's a lot of them out there. And I'm sure that most of the people that listening to the show, especially if you haven't turned it off by now, chances are you've seen and heard or read of some of these incidents of, fine, I'll say one. A good one. I like this one. This one's probably one of my favorites, actually. They did, and I'm not going to get into the who they were and everything because it doesn't matter. I'm just using this one because I like it. They were able to change the pattern of snowflakes. Snowflakes. The pattern of snowflakes with thought. Well, that's interesting. Yes. And then, of course, there's hypnosis, where doctors put people under hypnosis and they make them believe, yes, just like the last episode, make them believe things that might be happening to them. Like, for instance, a burn. They'll tell them while they're under hypnosis that they're being burned, even though they're not. And then they'll wake up with a burn mark on their leg or wherever the heck it was. There's lots of them out there, okay? I said I wasn't going to say any, but there are a couple that I like. They're very interesting. Adding the thought of love to something can change. I've talked about this before. Can change things. It can change the taste of your food, which I find to be amazing. Anyway, the point is, thought is energy. And I'm sure a lot of you that are listening to this already know that. Well, let me talk about it, okay? I enjoy it. Hey, okay, so energy is consciousness. Well, just reminding yourself that the energy that you perceive out in the world, doing things that are unexplainable, well, just remind yourself that that is your consciousness, your thoughts. And yes, it could be someone else's thoughts or consciousness. And then yes, I'm getting to that point as well. Then yes, it could be that of a spirit's thoughts or consciousness. Yeah, okay, now it really starts making a little more sense. And it's no secret. I've told everyone this plenty of times. Us spirits manipulate the world as you see it. Well, that's one of the ways, that's how we manipulate it. Through thought. Because yes, the world is thought. The world is consciousness. Because everything is consciousness. And I've talked about that before. And yes, I could just say that about everything that I talk about. And I might. That everything is consciousness. Because it is. But of course, it gets a little more complicated than that. Because, well, consciousness is kind of complicated. There's an endless amount of consciousness. It's always changing and always expanding with no end. So, as you can only imagine, yes, it could get kind of on the complicated side, especially while incarnate and you have to use a brain because you're, well, locked into your brain until you come back home. I'm getting a little off track. Energy. To keep energy simple. I kind of just keep thinking to myself, that's another funny one. It can really be used as a reminder. And I tell this to MA all the time. Use energy as a reminder. Try not to use it as a separator, but use it as a reminder of your true reality and your current physical plane experience reality, which only lasts for a short moment. No, I'm not trying to use the word fake here. It's not a fake life. I mean, you're still you, and you still experience, and you still have your feelings. So it is reality, but it's only a reality for a moment. Your ultimate reality doesn't have a time, because time doesn't exist in reality. So, I'm off track. I could just go on and on, I guess. But your physical plane experience, anything that you can see with your eyeballs, is not your true reality. It's a great way to remind yourself of what is and what isn't. If you can't see it and you know it exists, that is your true reality. If you can see it with your eyeballs, that is your physical, plain, fake reality. I said it. Okay, it's not fake. You can still feel and touch and hear, and that is actually another great example too. If you ever find yourself in the physical plane saying, okay, well, this is not my true reality, so it's fake. I can just do whatever I want. No. And I'm not trying to get everyone to think like that either. If you ever do find yourself starting to think a little bit like that, stop what you're doing for a moment and pinch yourself. Yes, that's right. I said pinch yourself. You can feel. No matter what, you can feel. Unless, of course, you have some type of okay, I'm not going to get into that either. But pinch yourself. You can feel. Okay, so it is your current reality. It's just a brief moment that doesn't last. So it's not fake. This is not a fake reality. This is just a brief moment experience that isn't your true being. And I'm not rubbing it in, guys. I swear I'm not. Okay. Energy. From a spirit's point of view. Well, everything is energy. So, okay, I'm not going to get into that either. Energy, 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 energy. Huh. Yes. Well, we could touch base on another subject too while I'm doing this. Energy has different vibrations. Didn't see that one coming. It's not vibrating on your current vibrational level of this physical plane experience. That's for sure. Because it wasn't created for this experience. But energy itself can vibrate on different levels. So energy can have different vibrations. It can have as many different vibrations as you can contemplate. You can create any vibration that you want. That's it. You can create any vibration that you want. In spirit. I'm sorry to rub it in, but you cannot do that in the physical plane. But you can change the current rate. Okay, you can't change it. You can manipulate it a little bit with your thoughts. Mainly because, well, you don't have full access to all of your consciousness, okay? But that's no surprise. While incarnate, you just don't. You only have a small portion of your consciousness to work with here. But you agreed to that when you signed up for it. So I don't feel bad. And I've done it before numerous times. So I can say whatever I want. Anyway, the physical plane is only operating on one vibration. Energy, which surrounds you all the time, can have multiple different vibrations because it's consciousness. Consciousness can change a vibration of anything because consciousness is a vibration. Oh, that one slipped out. Consciousness is a vibration. That's how you differ from different thoughts. Yes. I'm trying not to get people too confused here, and that was not meant to. Okay. Different vibrational thoughts are possible when you're not trapped or locked in a body. Incarnate. Sorry. I hope I'm not confusing too many people, but you have to understand I'm a spirit. And this is all very, very it's fun for me, and it's also intrigues me a little bit. There's not a lot of spirits that get to communicate with this physical plane the way I do. Because frankly, there aren't a lot of capable beings that are incarnate that are able to allow a spirit to communicate through them. So I gotta tell you, I gotta have fun a little bit. So you don't get to do it all the time. Back on track. Energy. It's actually very simple. Energy is consciousness. I could make the whole show just saying that. Energy is consciousness. Because really getting into it, really into it and explaining to people that wouldn't make any sense to most any incarnate, really. Mainly because you have to use your brain to understand a lot here, pretty much everything. Okay. Yes. It's a very simple notion. Energy. It is. It really is. Let's get one thing out of the way. Negative energy. Negative energy. Is there such thing as negative energy? Negative and positive. Positive and negative. What I will tell you is that anything negative or positive is that to do with the physical plane. Negative and positive do not exist in your true reality because there's only one way. Some things cannot be explained, especially through a recording. Might have a better chance individually explaining this to people, but over recording, it's very difficult. That being said, in reality, no, there's no such thing as a negative energy or a positive energy. Negative and positive. Two things that make this physical plane function. In this physical plane, you have to have a negative and a positive of almost everything. Without the positive, you don't have the negative. Without the negative, you don't have the positive. In spirit, it's just one way. Just the way it is. There are many things in your true reality that I cannot explain, and it would not be worth the effort. So just trust me on this one. There's no negative energy in reality. It's only something in the physical plane. And no, there are not negative beings in the spirit plane. Evil does not exist in reality. Evil only exists in the physical plane, this world. It does not exist in reality. There would be absolutely no reason for any spirit to be evil or negative. there's no reason. It's absolutely no reason. There's no greed. There's no death. We all share. We're all one. There's no confusion. Okay. Negative doesn't exist. Okay? There's no bad negative energy. And while we're on the subject, I'll get into the point of people that feel like they might be haunted, or there might be a spirit that seems to be negative or evil. Well, let me tell you something. We're like you. Spirits, they like to have fun. I'll leave it at that. Okay? Spirits like to have fun. And if someone's reactions are of certain nature, it might be intriguing or enticing spirits to have a little fun. I'll leave it at that. No one's evil in the spirit plane, okay? There are no evil spirits. I hate to break it to everybody, ruin all the fun. But it doesn't. Okay? Got that one out there. It's nice being able to be so clear on things, because a lot of spirit communications aren't very clear. There's a lot of confusion. In fact, for a lot of spirits that are trying to communicate with the physical plane, it's kind of like talking through a thick glass wall. You can kind of hear them and see them a little, and you get a little bit of it, but it's not as clear. It's muffled and it's hard to understand. So having a clear communication really can set things straight. So pay close attention. Even though I'm who I am, I'm giving you a clear message. Obviously, I like to have a little fun, because I don't get to do this all the time. I'm not going to get in. But back on track. Energy. And so we cleared that out. We cleared out that there is no negative energy in reality, but yes, of course, there's negative energy in the physical plane. But its energy is not physical. It's just a part of consciousness or thought that is vibrating a certain vibration. That makes it not physical. Things are physical to you when they vibrate a certain vibration. That makes them physical. You can touch it, move it, and just touch. Yeah, you can touch it. You can touch things, knock on it, burn them, whatever, because it's vibrating at that vibrational rate. Even water is vibrating at that same vibrational rate. Yes. Heat, cold energy, air. Aha. What about air? Is air energy? No. I'm not a scientist here. I mean, I could be, but I'm not getting into the molecules here. Energy. Well, like I said before, there's different types of energy. There's that of energy of spirit. There's energy of radio waves, things like that. Yes, different energies. Spirit energies. are way different. There's multiple different types of energy around you all the time that are not part of the physical plane. And yes, you can imagine them to be on different planes of existence. That always helps some people. Dimensions. Yes, different dimensions. So that's another way of looking at it. Each different energy vibration is a different dimension because it's vibrating at a different rate. And these are not stacked up different dimensions. You don't have to go anywhere to go to a different dimension. They're not on different levels. They're different vibrations, all intertwined together because everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So all these different vibrations. Yes. There's so many different vibrations. It's uncountable to the incarnate. It is actually uncountable for everybody. But it's only because they're always ongoing, always being manipulated. Energy vibrations change all the time. Energy vibrations are constantly changing. Because yes, energy is consciousness. Our consciousness is always changing. That is creation. I had to slip that one in there. Okay, so energy. Energy. So many different types of energy, none of which are a part of the physical plane creation. There we go. And I'll get back on what I was saying before. Energy is something you cannot see. Things that you cannot see are your true reality. Things that you can see with your eyes are your current physical plane reality. So, there's really not much more to it that I can explain to you. Energy is also a feeling. A feeling is energy. So a thought is energy, and a feeling is energy. Energy is energy. Yeah. So, perception itself is energy. So, your own perception is energy. Now I'm getting somewhere again. Your own thoughts have different vibrations. Aha. A perception is energy, and it is a vibration. The best way for me to explain it is a perception of something that you have seen throughout your life. Maybe as a child, a park, for instance. Maybe a park that you went to as a child. Well, that park now, when visited, so if you went back to that park that you went to as a child, it wouldn't look the same to you, would it? Let's say all the same trees are there. They haven't changed anything physically. This is a park, okay? Maybe a few trees might have died, but the overall feeling of it, the main park itself hasn't changed, okay? It's not getting any confusion there. Your perception of that park has changed now. You're older and wiser and things that you have been through. It's the same park, but it looked way different when you were a child. Your perceptions, you perceived it different. It's the same park. It's the same park, just perceived differently. The way you perceive it, your own perception, is a different vibration. The vibration of your first perception of that park as a child is a different vibration of your current perception of that park. That is one of the easiest ways for me to explain energy, because energy is a vibration of consciousness. Perceptions are different vibrations. Perceptions are energy. Energy, you can't see. You can't physically see. So, that is your true reality. Thought, consciousness, that is your true reality. So it can also be used as a tool to separate the confusion of your true reality in the physical plane experience. It's a great tool. It separates the two. If you can't see it, it's your true reality. If you look at it, you can touch it, it's physical, it is your physical plane experience. Energy is your true reality. Basically, anything that is vibrating at a different rate than what your eyes can process or your fingers can process, that vibration rate is your true being. So I guess what I'm trying to explain here to everyone is that energy is a great tool used to remind yourself of your true being. So feelings, perceptions, feelings, those count. You take those with you. Your house does not come with you, and that's pretty obvious. So don't let things of the physical plane upset you or give you a bad feeling, because your feelings are the ones that are true. And the physical things are just a brief moment of existence in your brief moment existence in the physical plane. So your houses, your cars, your jewelry, your shoes, your clothes, well, they're not real now, are they? So how many times do you find yourself reacting in some way where you get a bad feeling or you give someone else a bad feeling over something that has happened physically, in the physical plane, something that you can see? The interactions that we have with each other are real. The interactions that we have with our things is not. I know there's a lot of people that don't need to be reminded this, but there are a lot of people that do. The things that we endure on this physical plane don't really need to be endured, if you know what I'm saying. Remind yourself, feelings are real. Okay, this concludes our spirit given message for this episode. Please feel free to contact me with any questions about this episode or anything spiritual at all. I hope I get the chance to discuss any matters at all with the listeners. I really love to discuss anything spiritual. So please don't hesitate to contact me. Really about anything. You can reach me through my website at peripheralconsciousness.com. Just look for my contact information. It should be under contact, I believe. Thanks again for sharing your time with me. And I hope everyone gets a better understanding of their true reality and know how to distinguish the difference between their true reality and their current physical plane reality. It can help. Thanks again. I hope I get a chance to speak with all of you in the near future. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your time. I know a lot of the things that I talk about can be quite confusing. That being said, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to go over them with you and discuss any matters that you might have at hand. Thank you again, everyone. Please tune in next time for Peripheral Consciousness with Emily Johnson. Thank you.